Okay, it's recording. And then I'll set a timer for like 20 minutes. Okay, we're good.
I'm just trying to get reacquainted with my notes.
I have like I wrote like questions like what's the suitcase in like chapter 15, and then I see in 16 I was like, oh, the suitcase is like a metaphor for his feelings and they're like stuck. So I guess that's where we found out about the what the suitcase is.
Yeah.
But
I have highlighted or underlined in 16. Looks like they're looking up at the sky. Or they were looking at something. They're both looking up at the ceiling in the Sistine Chapel. They were what? I underlined this part that says, I've seen the Sistine ceiling too. She said, they took me last year before Bridget. And I underlined that because that kind of gives you like a time reference of when the whole like affair happened. So it's only been like probably less than a year
yeah.
that this has all happened, which
Yeah.
kind of makes sense as to why she's so like wild about it.
Mhm.
Like a metaphor underlined.
I know it's hard to like think back when this was like weeks ago.
Yeah.
I also have that kind of the part that you have underlined with the suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
But he says he keeps it closed. Sistine said why, and then he said because his dad says it's not good to talk about it. So I put, oh, his dad is the reason that he's like not talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also like there's a part where like he was telling Sistine about his parents, like how they met at the Sistine Chapel, I think, and I was talking of like I thought like because he can't open up to his dad, he's like more opening up to Sistine now with his like feelings and stuff because like he can't hold it in the suitcase, maybe.
Yeah. And I wonder if his dad's like, it's not good to share your feelings because maybe his dad isn't ready to process and talk about like his feelings about his wife dying. And so he's
Yeah.
like, he's handling it poorly, obviously, but like maybe he doesn't realize how hard it is on Rob too by him doing that.
Yeah, because like Rob probably sees like, oh, my dad's doing this, I should probably be doing the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's interesting.
I just feel like a lot of like, are we or aren't we letting the tiger go happened.
Mm-hmm.
We know she died from cancer. We did find that out in chapter 20.
Oh yeah.
I wonder how long ago she died, too. Does it say anywhere? I don't remember.
I don't remember
Yeah.
ever getting like a timeline on that. I feel like I would have like noted that.
Same. So I feel like that'd be interesting too, like if it's been a year, if it's been a few months, and like
Or like multiple years, like
there are
how
multiple years. Yeah, like I
Mhm.
feel like there's a lot of pent up like emotions.
Yeah.
there was this part. What chapter is this? Chapter 20, where
Mhm.
they're talking about the tiger. And Sistine, like, it says she shook the cage harder. I'll get you out of here, she said to the pacing tiger, I promise. And then it said she rattled the cage as if she were the one who was locked up. And I thought it was really interesting because, like, for Sistine, I think the tiger kind of is like I guess symbolizing her want to like get out of her current situation. But
Mhm.
then at the same time, like the tiger is a way for Rob to keep his feelings inside.
Ooh.
I thought it was kind of interesting, like how the tiger is playing a different role in each of their feelings and stuff.
Yeah, that's like not what I like thought of, but now I'm like thinking that now.
Yeah, I didn't even put that together. That's good. And then I wonder, like, I think her name's Willie Mae, but like when she told Rob the story of like how she had a bird and then she let the bird out of the cage and it died. Like, I wonder like the significance of that story and like what that was trying. I wonder if that was like almost foreshadowing and then like what it kind of,
It definitely was foreshadowing.
yeah. But we didn't know it at the time, but that's cool
Yeah.
for like later. I had a feeling it'd die, but
I know, I did too. I have like this weird I can't like watch movies where animals die. Like it like really destroys with my like mental health. It's really weird. I don't know why. Any animal, it doesn't matter. And so like I knew this tiger was gonna die and I was like mentally preparing myself for it like
yeah.
way ahead of time. Uh I don't know. I think I'm just gonna like skip to the end. I wasn't like super stoked with the ending.
Yeah, it's kind of
Mhm.
lame.
Yeah, it felt like there's this huge thing where like the tiger went out. It was like kind of like Rob was just like basically an F it moment. I'm gonna let the tiger out. And then all of a sudden, like the tiger's shot and no one's really that sad about it, which I thought was really weird. Like Sistine didn't even seem that upset, which is odd. I don't know. It seemed like it could have gone on a little longer. I don't know. I just wasn't like I didn't feel very satisfied by the ending
Mhm.
at all. Because like, I don't know, even him and his dad like don't even really like talk about they don't even really talk about the mom. They just talk about how like they weren't talking about it and how it was bad
Mhm.
to not talk about it. And then they were like, "Do you want mac and cheese for dinner?" And Rob was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
Yeah, I thought there would have been like a little bit more, but it's just like, oh, he's going back to school, she's doing this, and like the end.
Yeah, I mean, I did think it was kind of cool. The only thing that I kind of enjoyed was that the dad was like, "Oh yeah, also like I'm gonna call the principal and tell him that he's being a hole
Mhm.
about your
Yeah.
life. Like you're going back to school." Yeah, I don't know. Like I think that the overall message here is that you can't like hold in emotions.
Yeah.
And they were kind of using the tiger as like a metaphor for holding in the emotions. But then I thought it was weird too, because they let the tiger out and then the tiger died. So it's like, what is that saying about
Mm.
emotions?
Oh yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that the tiger died, the tiger was murdered.
Yeah.
Mm.
And like, why did the tiger dying like cause them to talk about his mom? Like, I
Right.
understand the metaphor of it, but like, why do those two relate in the real world, you know?
Yeah, like what about his dad shooting a tiger is making him be like, you know what, maybe we should talk about your mom.
Yeah. Like it's kind of weird. And then they like talked like about the tiger at the funeral, and I was like, this is also weird. I don't know. It's just like you had hardly a like, I don't know. It's like a tiger. I don't know.
This is just so weird because I like definitely like can see the tiger is a metaphor
Mm-hmm.
of like, I guess, escape in a way, whereas like Sistine's trying to escape her situation. Rob is trying to essentially like escape his feelings by like focusing on this tiger.
Yeah.
So you gotta let it out. But then like it gets murdered.
So it kind of sends the message if you like let your emotions out, kind of bad things will happen. Like
That's what I was getting from
Yeah.
it.
Like that's such a weird metaphor at the end with the tiger dying.
And it wasn't even like, I thought maybe they were like, oh, like letting your emotions out brings people closer together. But then like they weren't all together at the end. I don't know. It was just,
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of, and I love this author.
Hmm.
I like her a lot, but I don't know about if I had to read this to my class, I would be like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
couldn't tell you. What do you think?
And then I remember like we never found out what was wrong with his like what his rash was. And I remember you were like, I wonder if it'll go away at the end. And I was like waiting for the rash to go away too. But then like it just kind of like happened. So I wonder if it was like insignificant to the point of we just need him a reason for him to be at home or something. But like I feel like it was a bigger issue, but it was never really described. I don't know. That was also weird. Like, what does this mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely like kind of what I thought was gonna happen was I did think that the tiger was gonna get out. I
Mhm.
did think that Rob was gonna let it out.
Yeah.
I thought that he would tell someone.
Mhm.
Somebody would come and like free the tiger, which would then cause like kind of a breakdown on Rob's part
Mhm.
and Sistine's part, and then their parents would be there to kind of like pick up the pieces each way because
Yeah.
Sistine needs some sort of like resolution in her story, and so does Rob. And then I thought that it would be like, oh, the next week, like his rash was gone and he was back at school, and like I definitely thought that it was going to be like this huge thing happens where like some like the police come and they bring like a zoo person or whatever, they tranquilize the tiger, it gets let out, it causes all kinds of emotions, there's emotional resolution, and then there's like physical resolution with his legs. Like that's kind of what I thought was going to happen.
Mhm.
This happened nothing like that. I don't even see how there was like emotional resolution for anybody.
Mhm. Also, like, why did this guy where'd Beauchamp get a tiger? Like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
why would he give keys to like a child? Like, they're just
He won the tiger, or he was
he won
owed
it.
him money and they
Okay.
paid him with the tiger.
Which like isn't that illegal to have like a tiger? Like
Yeah,
in
and that was never mentioned about how it's like super illegal to
yeah.
have tigers.
Like I'm just thinking of that like Joe Exotic.
Yeah, the Tiger King.
Yeah, yeah.
It just felt this book felt, um, we're reading this maybe to like, what, like third graders, maybe, give or take a year. I think that they have a little bit more capability to like dive deeper into a text at that point, you know?
Yeah.
It just seems like the like complexity level of this book versus like the word count like are really mismatched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hate when that happens, when like you don't feel like the character got resolution at the end of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Just leaves you feeling like weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I did notice at the end, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but like in the middle, he was like, I'm okay if it like always rains or if it's never sunny again. And then at the end, he was like, oh, I don't know what he said, but my notes are like he was embracing the sun and like he started healing from his mom's death. But like the capacity of it, I don't know. But I just thought like that contrast was interesting between like the rain and the sun. But
Yeah, there's definitely more of a feeling of like hopefulness at the very end, whereas throughout the whole book, he's just like, whatever. Like, especially with those bullies, he's like, I just let it happen because it
yeah,
gets worse if I fight back.
yeah,
And then he uses words. Yeah, he watched the sun poke through the curtain,
hmm
thought about how happy it would make people. He considered the future. Yeah, like use the word brave, compete the Kentucky Star sign competing bravely with the light of the morning. Yeah, it just seems a little, it does seem a little lighter.
hmm But I still don't get how the tiger dying made all this happen.
Yeah. I
But
don't know, like the tiger rising, like the title, I thought like the tiger would be like alive to like, I don't know. I don't know, like rising up. I don't know, something like that. But
so why'd she use the word rising? Like I still don't even understand it. Like what's
yeah,
Because it's that poem. Um, there's like a poem about a tiger
oh there
that
is.
she
Okay.
says, and it talks about like a tiger rising, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it was something really like kind of insignificant like that.
Okay. Hmm.
Trying to find it. I thought she said the poem like at that stupid funeral they did. Wow, that was really rude. I'm sorry.
No, it's valid. It was odd.
Like I said, I was really like bummed out about the ending of this movie of this book.
Yeah.
yeah. I like your like version of how it should have gone.
Yeah, you should rewrite it.
Yeah.
Well, that could be a lesson. Like you read a book and you ask them how they feel about it. And if people aren't necessarily enjoying the end, then that could be a thing where it's like, well, let's rewrite the ending to how we think it should
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
Mhm.
Oh, tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, with immortal hand or eye, could frame thy fearful symmetry. In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? Yeah, so it's like the poems talks
Hmm.
about a tiger and like rising in some sort of way.
Interesting.
Yeah, I also thought it was a little odd that no one was extra worried about, because I mean these two kids are like kind of smart
Hmm
children, and they didn't really like give real thought to the fact that they're letting an actual like carnivore out of a cage.
Beaten
like,
them.
like those two would have discussed that further.
Yeah. Hmm. We have like a couple minutes left. So we hit the 20.
I mean, we could probably cut it. Isn't it 15 to 20 minutes? 15 to
Mhm.
30.
Yeah, so it's like 20 is kind of in the middle. But
We could cut. I don't know. I like I said, I kind of gotta in like didn't want to wait to like finish it. So I like finished the last few chapters just all in one sitting on my own and
yeah,
felt really like annoyed at how it ended. And so
yeah, that's fair.
I just don't have like a lot of
Thoughts.
some things to say about it.
Yeah, valid. Okay, I shall stop.